When you see this show and you see the kickoff, at least for me personally, I felt that something was badly discombobulated because of the way the show was structured. So I'm going to do my review based on what I felt should have been in its right place, okay? I'm not going to do what's going in the regular show and what happened in the kickoff. I'm not even going there. But this is what I felt should have happened. On the kickoff show, you should have had one match, not two. I understand they want to give R-Truth and Stardust some time, but it felt empty. It was really a throwaway match, it was. And it wasn't a great match either. I just didn't care. Throwing R-Truth there because it's in Baltimore because he's black, kind of stupid for me personally. It didn't need to be done. Even though the riots happened, I don't really care. I care about real entertainment. The match that should have happened on the kickoff show should have been the Neville and Bad News Barrett. Now, I know you're going to say Bad News Barrett won the King of the Ring. King Barrett should be on the main show, not on the kickoff show. Well, guess this. I'm sorry, I got some bad news. Because you're not promoting a Neville as strongly as you should be and letting him win legitimately instead of letting Bad News Barrett job in a countout, this should have been on the kickoff show. That's how I feel about it. Now, for the main show, you could have opened with the Ascension versus the Mega Powers Light. I'm saying it. They're saying Mega Powers, I'm saying Mega Powers Light. I'm going to be honest here. I understand Kurt. This frustrates me not because of Curtis Axel being Axelmania. This frustrates me because Damien Sandow could have moved away from his parodies. Damien had a moment where he could have easily bounced away from parodies and actually been himself. He doesn't have to be the intellectual savior of the masses, where he could have actually taken a little bit from that, which actually did work to a certain extent. But they kept him as a parody guy. And I felt the boat has now passed for him. He had one slim moment to go beyond being a parody kind of guy and doing what he did, and we lost it. And that upsets me badly. But since they're going with it, they should have put this on the main show as the opener and tried to promote the Mega Powers like the way they were. Now, in the end, it was the Ascension who won, which is kind of sad. You should let the Mega Power Light win. But that's how they were going. Now, Sheamus versus Dolph. There's no feud there. And that upsets me badly. As much as I'm glad to see Sheamus with a new look and screaming when he gets somewhere, "Are you entertained?" is great, you need to move away from it because the time has passed. Mind you, Dolph did crack his head open pretty good. I did see on WWE YouTube channel how badly the stitches had to be sewn into his skull. He busted his head open pretty good. And that did give the match some very interesting air at the very end. Also, seeing Dolph rub his ass into Sheamus's face was interesting. People were laughing, they were screaming, they were happy, and it was interesting, but there's no feud. And that was the major problem with this entire show. Very little feud and too much wrestling, to be honest. Look at Tyson Kidd and Cesaro versus the New Day. I don't really care about New Day. Even as heels, I don't care. You know why? Because they had the chance in 2014 to trump TNA. And I know people are going to say, who are WWE lovers, who cares about TNA? Well, you got 3 black guys in the WWE who look like at that moment with Xavier Woods giving us something entirely different. Not going to the gospel stuff, my brothers and sisters. We must show a new day. You didn't need to go there. You could have just let them be fucking heels and they would have gotten over so big you wouldn't have the crowd screaming New Day sucks in a way that isn't like trying to make them heels. It's because they don't give a fuck. They had their moments last year and they passed the boat. Now, of course, they're still getting some traction because people want to go New Day sucks to them. But I really didn't care that much about this match. It was a good match, and Xavier Woods does the roll-up and win for New Day. I'm alright with that. Now, I do admit I wasn't too upset seeing the interview later with Brad, I forgot his name already, I don't know, Saxton. My mistake, I always forget how to pronounce his name. But seeing they're going to have the first Tag Team Elimination Chamber match, I'm alright with that. Because they look pissed off. Let's hope they complain about it on this Raw. Now, a match that I really felt needed a lot more time than what it got to build up into it. Ryback and Bray Wyatt. Bray wants this. You see me frustrated. Both these guys are loved by the crowd. Ryback a lot more than Bray. And I really believe that Ryback should have been the one to win this. I know you're going to say, Bray needs a win. Yes. But if you're going to go that route, then he should have won against The Undertaker. And he should have won the match before that with John Cena. And before that with Chris Jericho. Bray has gotten no wins whatsoever in almost a year. And I know you're going to say, dude, he finally got a win against a Ryback who's well over. Yeah, but I felt like Ryback should have been the one to win for the simple reason the video package for him was good. The build-up for him was good. He has gotten really over with every crowd that he's gone to, as much as a Bray Wyatt. And I really believe the reason Bray Wyatt is still so popular is because he's anti-culture of the WWE. And I really feel that when it comes down to it, as much as I do love Bray Wyatt, I really do love him. I think he can make great music for the WWE. But the problem is they won't give him an instrument to do his job. Because every time before they made him job out. So badly that now with this win, I really felt that it could have been against a more weaker opponent. Someone as strong as a Ryback should not job. And that's just me. Next, we have the match that made no freaking sense. Now I gotta say it. The Bellas versus Naomi and Tamina. And I will be doing a debate of the week just after this about them. The ladies of the WWE. I'm calling it that because that's what these women are. They are the real, well, not the ladies, the women of the WWE. I think that might be better. But essentially speaking, why did not... You see me angry. Tamina shouldn't have been in the match. Brie should never have been in the match. It should have been Naomi going against Nikki for that fucking belt. Not this coming Raw that will be out in about 2 hours. It should not happen. That match should have never happened. And worse yet, Tamina and Naomi shouldn't have had to struggle so fucking much near the end against the fucking Bellas. I'm not against the Bellas. But you know what? They had their moment. Naomi and Tamina should be the focus because they're trying to make something out of them and the Bellas did not job for them properly. It was stupid. Naomi shouldn't have had such a hard time against Nikki. And she definitely should never had a hard time against Brie. Naomi gets the pin. But what does it give us? Absolutely nothing. And if Naomi wins that fucking belt, this Raw, I'm going to scream fucking murder because that's stupid. She should have won it on this pay-per-view and then had the next night, she should have been able to easily be happy about it. Next, the second best match of the night, even though I really didn't care about it. And that was Cena versus Rusev. Now I'm going to be honest here. I knew the total result of this with Rusev and Cena. This is going to be Cena showing how dominant and how strong he is to be able to recover. Now, even though Rusev showed how freaking tough he is, the man is fucking tank. He's a Bulgarian brute for a reason. He's a fucking tank. But you know what? He still jobs. And worse yet, he jobs because Lana doesn't want to see him hurt. And she screams, he quits, when it's obvious he didn't quit. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, dude, he didn't job. Lana just said that to protect him because she's in love with the man. In real life, they're actually dating. If they haven't changed the wiki, these two are actually dating one another. And let's be honest, you can see there's something going on between them. But to be honest, why not let Rusev win this? Now, of course you're not going to do it because USA's got to win. But I'm seeing it in this respect that John Cena, every time he goes up against somebody, he's gone up against Batista in an I Quit match. He's gone up against JBL, which is understandable when he was first being established. I could have said JBL first, but I didn't. He went up against him in that case. Bad News Barrett, I believe, went up against a last man standing match with him, and he had the job. The way he did it was disgusting. Ryback had to do a last man standings match with him, and it was horrible. And I believe he also did a ambulance match. And worse, Bray Wyatt had to do an ambulance match with him. Every time when he does this, the guy he's with diminished greatly. And I was kind of hoping after the last match they had, it would be over. But when you see this, and as much as you want to say that Lana did it for him and Rusev technically didn't job, he did. Because now, think of it for a minute. Please think about this. Because Rusev didn't state it directly, I quit, and it was Lana, this isn't over between them. How much more do you want to see Rusev job to John Cena, ladies and gentlemen? Rusev has jobbed to him now 3 times. If there's a 4th one, tell me. But roughly 3 times he's jobbed to the man. And in the end, he's not going to get anywhere. I just wanted to see this over. I would have liked to just see Rusev just say I quit. And then it'll be over. And it's not over. Rusev is going to be buried even worse now. Because now, traditionally with John Cena, when you say I quit, they don't really deal with each other anymore. Maybe a couple of more times in the tag team matches. It's not over. And I'm feeling sorry for Rusev. Oh. Breathe. Lastly, we have the Fatal 4-Way. And this is the match that I didn't expect to be the best match of the night. Not because Randy Orton did a great job or Seth Rollins did great. This was about 2 guys, and you see from my thumbnail. This is about Roman Reigns, and this is about Dean Ambrose. I felt this match was highlighting them more than anything else. And I knew that Seth Rollins was probably going to be the one that was going to win this, and he did. And Kane helped out, which makes it more apparent that either they decided to pull back from Kane going against a Seth Rollins for the belt, or in the next 2 weeks you're going to see Kane turn, probably this Raw. This is what I feel. It's a good possibility before I talk about Dean and Roman Reigns. That Kane is going to turn against the Authority, turn against Seth Rollins, this Raw, and now he's going to be the great big red monster, and he's going after that title at Elimination Chamber. That's what I feel that might happen. And I hope it's not, but that's probably what's going to happen. But back to Dean and Roman Reigns. For one moment, it was kind of nice to see them work together as a team, all 3 of them, trying to destroy a Randy Orton. For some reason, it kind of gave me a little interest. But then when they turned on Seth and pile-drived him and they power-bombed him, then super power-bombed the... was a double powerbomb, to be honest. Pretty much Kane on top of them, and they got in the ring by themselves. That is when the match really became interesting to me personally. We haven't seen Dean and Roman fight each other at all. We know they love each other. They're brothers. And when they had to match each other, it actually was good to see. They got great chemistry in the ring. You can see them trying to one-up each other. I felt if there was just Dean and Roman Reigns by themselves, we would have a great feud if it came down to it. I actually was interested in seeing these 2 more than anything else during the entire match. And in the end, even though I did want to see Dean win, which would have been a nice interest for the WWE, if they actually let Dean win, that would have been a total curve that nobody would expect to happen. You still left it on Seth Rollins. Excuse me, allergies. But in the end, what did we get in this pay-per-view? We got an average pay-per-view with a lot of matches that were either standard or maybe above standard, like the Rusev and the Fatal 4-Way was a good match. The last, actually the I Quit match was alright. I'll say the 2 out of 3 falls between Cesaro and Kid and New Day wasn't bad, but it was a standard, ordinary show with some raw elements mixed in. I mean, the matches were raw quality. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about how angry I am with Naomi and Tamina. And you will be hearing about that in my debate of the week. And I hope you enjoyed this Zane's View. Please give me a comment below. Tell me how you feel about the show itself. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you feel it was average or maybe just above average? I felt it was average, barely above in some places, but it was average. Have a good day and have a good night. Peace out!